For the month of July, Doctrine Devotion is being sponsored by Ligonier Ministries. The people that put out Ligon Duncan, R.C. Sproul. Who else they put out?
Joe Thorne in Table Talk Magazine.
In Table Talk Magazine. And so they're offering, listeners to Doctrine Devotion can get 15 months of Table Talk Magazine for the price of 12 months. Find out more later in the show.
Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion, a podcast that explores Christian faith and practice, and today, church health, from a Reformed Baptist perspective. My name is Joe Thorne. I'm the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Gene Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
What's going on, man?
You know, I'm relaxing.
Really?
It's a nice day.
It is nice.
We've
had
nice
some
day.
really nice
I'm
weather.
going to go barbecue. I'm going to be happy. Yeah.
I got to go dig up bushes.
Wait,
awesome.
why?
Because Jen wants me to dig up bushes in the front yard. So
Really?
She can lay down mulch or something, or I don't know what it is.
Were you doing yard work yesterday or all this week? Like, for real?
Stop it.
No.
You already did this.
What are you talking
You don't
about?
have to keep talking about it.
I'm asking.
I got a little bit of sun. Okay, look, can we move on? Yeah.
I wasn't
Oh,
gonna say
really?
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was going to say, no, when you got a pimple, you're sweating so much.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty hot.
That was the same thing. Okay.
No, it was about the pimple, not
Yeah.
necessarily that it's
Yeah.
got too much sun.
Yeah.
Dude, for real. That thing's, no, quit
I know.
irritating it.
No,
Don't
I'm not.
touch it.
It's
Yes,
just,
no,
every
don't-
time you talk about it, it makes me
No,
touch it.
stop. Don't touch it. That's gross.
Oh my gosh.
It's so red.
I can't do anything about it. I can't put
You
makeup
can't.
on.
Why don't you can powder it?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
Yeah, look, guys that wear makeup. It's a little weird.
Why is it weird? If you're covering that up,
Yeah.
are you listen?
I'm not that vain, dude.
Oh.
I don't care.
So wait.
I'm not that vain.
So you're talking about tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
When you go up to preach,
Right.
You're gonna allow that to shine.
Yep. The Lord gives, the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I don't care.
No, but Joe, it is a distraction.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You know what it is?
I can't stop
It'll help
seeing it.
people identify you know what? I thought Joe was just perfect and awesome and handsome.
The only people
but
that
now I see he's got a pimple. He's like everybody
No,
else. He regular. That's what I say. He regular.
No. Preteens are going to identify with you.
Good.
That's it.
Finally.
Yeah,
Finally.
Well, they identify, size wise. Now they're going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, look, pimple.
Look, yeah, he's only as mature as we are.
There you go. Poor Joe. Yeah. No, for real though, you get powder.
I'm not gonna powder.
You got to do something.
I'm not gonna do it.
What's
You're depressing me, and it's been a depressing week, dude.
why is it depressing?
Listen, we had a friend of ours, well-known pastor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this has been a crazy couple of years where, pastors are caught in and or are confessing to having affairs.
Yeah.
And it's from every stripe. Some of them are well known and the situation becomes known. Others are well known and the situations don't become well known. They just kind of disappear.
Yeah.
Others, and then of course it happens with people that aren't as well known. And while I think it's fair to say most pastors, are good and faithful men, it really is troubling to see the number of people, even friends of ours, who have made bad decisions and got caught up in sin. And so yeah, man, it's been a rough week, and I'm getting to that point where I go from sadness to frustration to fear. Wow, if that could happen to these guys, it could happen to me, which is of course a reality. But it goes back to anger. It's and it's not that I'm mad at an individual as much as it's frustrating.
Yeah.
The failure and the pain that it brings about. So,
well, I'm really sorry, Joe,
Yeah.
that I didn't realize that was a stress zit. And I was just big,
a what?
a stress zit.
Maybe that is what it is.
That might be what it is.
Okay, see?
So now
And now you
I
should have some
feel
compassion.
bad.
Okay.
Now I actually feel bad.
All right, thanks
I
for
didn't
bringing it all the way
realize.
back around too. That was good. That's good. Hey, can we talk about something else? Because
Yes, let's talk about something else.
yeah.
How to powder your nose, how to wash your face after a long day in the sun.
Hey, you know what? Any advice that you ladies have in particular, because you know about skincare more than dudes. But
Especially if you're, 15, 16,
Yeah,
17,
if you've got
because you're dealing with that.
pimple protection helps. Like any hashtag Doc and Devo, let us know.
Let Joe know.
How can Joe get rid of his pimple or hide it or not get them
The
anymore?
best part, though, is I think this happens like once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since I've known you, once a year.
Yeah.
It's not regular.
At least. It's periodic. Yeah.
I can't remember ever being more than that.
Yeah.
So it's just, hey, guys, get ready. Next June, July, we're going right back to this joke again.
That's why we never have conferences in June or July. That's why we don't do it. Yeah.
Well, is it going to be gone by when we go to Legacy?
No, they'll be in there. But we're like breakout session. It don't matter.
Well, yeah, just like you had to break out.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Okay, I'm done. That was the last one. I'm done.
You guys see how mean he is? Like seriously, like I'm the nice one.
Man,
everybody knows.
Listen, I've had a stressful week. I've had a long week, but so this actually feels good for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Continue, please. So, Joe, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about, not in general, we wanted to talk about why people leave the church, but we really want to zero in on an article that came out, written by Bob Smietana. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Santana. We call him Bob Santana. All right, so Bob Santana. And we found this on the Exchange, right? Which is
Stetzer's
Ed
blog.
Stetzer's blog. And the article is New Research, Churchgoers Stick Around for, wait for it, Theology. Not music or preachers. And so this is a really interesting article, research that was done by Lifeway. And so we thought we would read some of this and then just talk about it because, when we think about why do people leave church, right? And we have, and a lot of us think like, well, Baptists are always splitting, church splits. And
no, we're multiplying, Joe.
So they think about like, well, there's always this, people are ditching the church because they're mad at the preacher for all these reasons. But this most recent research here is suggesting that a predominance of church members, particularly in Baptist churches, stick around. They stick around, but they will leave, and they're not as likely to leave over music or style and things like that, but they are likely to leave over a change in doctrine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, which kind of makes sense. I think part of it is there are a number of I don't want to say the word. It's not crazy churches. Like there are some churches that are off, right? And so I think it's important, especially for the younger generation, to know where am I going, right? Like what kind of church environment is this going to be for my kids and for myself, or are they, what's the theology like? What's the doctrine like? I mean, I know I've said it multiple times, but when we were moving back here, we spent months listening to sermons from Redeemer, as well as reading their all the information, their statement, online, to say, okay, is this something that, because we want it, where we're going to go, we want to be committed to, right? Like we want to be part of the church body, and the goal was not to just shop around, but to find and stick.
Right. So in the article here, it says, Lifeway Research surveyed 1,010 Protestant churchgoers, those who attend services at least once a month, to see how strongly they are tied to their local congregations. Mm-hmm. And researchers found most churchgoers stay put.
Bam.
35% have been at their church between 10 and 24 years. 27% have been there for 25 years or more.
Wow.
21% have been there less than 5 years, while 17% have been at the same church between 5 and 9 years. Lutherans, 52%, Methodists, 40%, and Baptists, 31%, are most likely to have been at their church for 25 years or more. Fewer non-denominational, 11%, or Assemblies of God, Pentecostal churchgoers, 13%, have such long tenure. Quote, most church members have been at their church longer than their pastor, said McConnell. More than half, 57% of churchgoers, say they are completely committed to continuing to attend their church. About a quarter, 28%, are very much committed, while 11% are moderately committed. 2% are slightly committed, while 1% are not committed at all. The more people go to church, the more committed they are to attending the same church in the future. Those who attend at least once a week are twice as likely to be completely committed to attending their church, 62%, than people who go once or twice a month, 31%. Those who attend once or twice a month are more likely to be moderate committed than those who go at least once a week. So, and then again, he says, churchgoers with evangelical beliefs are more likely to be completely committed, 67%, than those who don't have evangelical beliefs, 45%. Baptists, 60%, are more likely to be completely committed than Lutherans are at 47%. So
there's a lot of information there.
right. So I mean, we're going to link to the article. We want you to read it. But the churchgoers, those regular churchgoers, are largely committed to their churches.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Particularly when there is a clear understanding of what that church believes, what they're committed to.
Oh, yeah.
And, it says, listen to this. Why, it's a change in those doctrines. It's a switch or a move away from certain theological issues that have been established that might move people to leave. It says, overall, 15% of churchgoers say they have not thought about going to another church in the past 6 months. 85% say they have not. Of those thinking about going to another church, about half have already visited another church. So if people are thinking about leaving your church,
They already got one foot out the door.
yeah, chances are they've already looked. In fact, we had a couple one time, good people, members here at Redeemer, and they weren't around as much, and so we asked, like, hey, we missed you, haven't seen you, and they're like, yeah, we've been thinking about checking, going somewhere else. Like, oh, really? Because they haven't talked to us about it or anything. And it was like, so is everything okay? Like, yeah, So have you started visiting? Oh yeah, of course. Yes, we have started to visit, right?
Yeah.
So we let people go if they want to go. That's fine. But the bottom line here is if people are thinking about leaving your church, a lot of the time it's because of a difference in theology. Either the church has moved in its theological understanding, or the people have moved in their theological understanding.
Oh yeah, and I mean I love that quote there about most church members have been at their church longer than their pastor. I mean I remember someone actually in the midst of strife had said to the pastors, like, listen, it was a lady, this older lady. I was here before you got here, and I'll be here after you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, this is my home.
Right.
I ain't going because of that, because of you.
And especially when you look at the average tenure of a pastor in the SBC,
Yeah.
at those small churches, you're talking about like 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of turnover, and those people have a much deeper investment in that congregation than the pastor who might be coming in.
Exactly. So why do you think the whole doctrine part, the whole theology part, why do we think that that's what is keeping people at the church, right? It feels like, I'm wondering if that's because there's this sense of bait and switch, right? Like I came here under this assumption of what the church believes in, what the church culture's like, who we are as a people, and then all of a sudden that got changed.
I think the reason that people are likely to leave when the doctrine of the church changes, or if their theology changes, is because we really do find a sense of, well, I'd say it's a couple things. One, there is a clear sense of identity, right?
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with who is God and what does God do and who am I? Like, those are theological issues. And so you start monkeying around with the nature and the character and the work of God, or the nature of man and who I am and who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do. Like, that's troubling at the very least. And so I get why people would move away from that. I think also we do find a great deal of comfort and assurance in the clearly articulated truths of Scripture.
Yeah.
And so when the church is saying, here's what we know about God, here's what you need to believe, here's what is important for the Christian life, and then they begin to change some of those doctrines. It's like, wait a minute, and I thought this was clear. I thought we were all on the same page. That can be upsetting. It can be scary even. So if the church is changing its view, then what is moving it to change its view? Is the church moving in a more biblical direction? Well, that's going to be scary for people that have only known one thing.
Exactly.
Or is the church moving in an unbiblical direction? And what are the motives behind it? Why are they making these changes? I mean, so when people leave churches, right, they leave for a lot of different reasons. Now that we have a list here, a graphic that's up here that gives the top reasons why people would consider changing their churches. Now, the biggest one is what we're talking about.
Church changed its doctrine. That's 54%.
So of the top number one reason people leave the church is the church changed its doctrine. It's interesting.
Yeah. So it's like,
how do you change your doctrine? I mean, I get so there's like the homosexual thing or the gay marriage thing. Or
could be also view on inerrancy. Could have changed. But I'm actually thinking probably more, it might even be stuff like, it could be the gifts, could be part of that, right? I would even say maybe
complementarianism, egalitarianism, and reformed theology.
Reformed and traditional.
A church that is not reformed, that moves in a reformed direction, you're going to lose some people.
Correct.
And a church that was reformed and is starting to drift away, same thing.
Exactly. Secondly, 48%. I moved residences.
That
legit.
Makes
sense. Yeah, that's legit. I moved away.
And so the first one is legit too. I mean, you might need to leave if the church changes its doctrine. Okay, so move residence. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Third
okay.
one, preaching style changed.
What?
He no longer sits on the stool, or maybe he sits on the stool.
How can he get real with you without the stool?
I don't know, but what kind of what would I'm trying to think of what a preaching style change would be. I'm using
it's got to be a new pastor. It's just, I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. I doubt that most guys change their style as much as when the new guy comes in, it's a different style, and they're like, you know what? It's not that the beliefs are different, but I just can't run.
Well, no, because the next one is the pastor left.
It could be overlap.
All right, maybe. Well, I'm just wondering if part of it's. I can't think of how a pastor would change his style.
I don't think a pastor. I don't know. Maybe they do. Yeah, I mean,
unless you're talking about someone more angry, because I've seen that. I've seen where for a season, a preacher being more confrontational
for 1 month. Okay, well, get off my back.
2 months, Joe. You were an angry little hobbit.
I've always been angry. I've one style.
Just angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I was going to say, Joe gets pretty earnest. Okay, a pastor left. Next, a family member wanted to change.
Okay, so one person in the family isn't feeling it.
Yeah, probably most likely with just the husband or wife.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it's a child, they're going
to bad.
Yeah, deal with it. Political views different from mine.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Political views different
I guess in 1%, it's only 9%. So I'm surprised it's not more than that, actually.
Yeah.
Because people get torqued over politics.
Oh, yeah. Next one is I didn't feel needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Be like, well, nobody ever asked me to really do anything.
No, yeah.
And, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Next, music style changed.
Only 5%.
Only 5%.
5% of those surveyed. That's a small number, I feel like.
Yeah. Relational conflict with someone else.
Yeah. 4%.
4%. And then friends stopped attending.
And so they're just going to follow their friends.
That's it.
On the way out. So, but by far. Okay, so I moved. That's a no-brainer. Okay. 54, and that's 48%. So 54% of people have changed churches because the church changed its doctrines. Or at least one of the
I wonder how they did this, because that's 170%. Sorry.
Got to be overlap.
It's got to be overlap. Okay, yeah. I'm like, how'd you get 170%? You add all those up? 54, 48, 19, 20, or sorry, not 19, 19, 12, 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3. All that together, 170. Yeah. So yeah, they've got to have some overlap. Yeah. Somehow they did that. All right, sorry. It just was bothering me because I'm like, wait, 54 plus 48.
Hey, Lifeway. You fudging the numbers?
I mean, it's not like Joe talking about, Ligonier, where it's $1 a month or less than $1 a month.
But less than, more than, it's the same. It's like, what are we talking about? 70 cents or something? Who cares? Come on. Y'all, they know what I mean. They know what I mean.
But either way, the main point though is the top reason church changes doctrine. So it's not about the music. It's not about the preacher. It's those things that I think we try to control. Like we get afraid, at least I've seen people afraid of changing a music style because it's like, oh, you can't have the drums up there. Yeah. Oh, you can't have the guitar up there. And actually, he kind of talked about it, worship war. We're going to start the worship war, the great worship war of 2018. But it's not that.
No, by and large, it's not. Now, again, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be transition, that some people aren't going to be frustrated. But I think, on the one hand, we're afraid of the wrong things.
Yeah.
And we think, like, this is going to blow up the church. It could, but statistically, it doesn't look like it's that likely.
No.
But then also, it's like we are afraid to emphasize the right things, like doctrine, because we keep hearing this refrain, right, from the non-doctrinal, like doctrine divides and people don't want it. I can remember when I was in college, we were talking about youth ministry. I was in this pastoral development class and we're talking about youth ministry, and there was a student in there who was involved in youth ministry at the time, and he was saying, this is all good, Dr. Perry, but I can't give this doctrine to the kids. They don't want to hear it. Like they don't have a stomach for it. They don't have appetite for it. They can't understand it. And the professor asked, what do the rest of you think? And I said, well, I've been working with our youth, and all I give them is theology and Reformed theology at that. Not only in a sense that it's abstracted from experience and all that, but I'm teaching from a theological perspective. We do confessional stuff, catechetical stuff, and they love it. Yeah. They embrace it. And then I was able to actually say, I took them to a youth event, and when the preacher started preaching some crazy stuff, they all started to confer among themselves about, this guy's wrong and this is why. Yeah. So they absolutely can. And not only with the youth, because I think it was presented to them in a way they could understand. Doctrine didn't bore them. Doctrine excited them, and it gave them a better understanding of God and themselves. So by emphasizing theology appropriately, you can do it wrong, but by emphasizing doctrine appropriately, we are giving our people, this is going to sound purely pragmatic, but we are giving our people a reason to stay.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's a reason to be here. I'm not just here to hear a preacher.
There's substance.
Yeah, like there's something real here. We're talking about the knowledge of God and the knowledge of man.
And what's really exciting about this, though, Joe, I think this is something that we should be excited about, and pastors should be excited about, is your people want to grow, right? Like people actually do care about theology. People actually do care about doctrine.
And I think, there's a lot of ways we can grow.
Yeah.
And in fact, in this article, I know you're going there. There's suggestions. Even like churchgoers have suggested, hey, you could be doing this for me, because I want to grow spiritually. But every church could benefit from one resource made available to everybody, really, for just over like $1 a month. If you go through
just over $1 a month, I didn't know we were charging at Doctrine Devotion.
No, it's not for us. We don't charge.
I know, but
everything's free.
But every church needs us.
Yeah, well, but we give it away for free. But they could also get Table Talk Magazine.
Oh, thank you, Legionnaire Ministries.
Because Legionnaire is sponsoring us for the whole month.
Yeah.
And they put out Table Talk Magazine. People can sign up for Table Talk Magazine. Why don't you tell people what Table Talk Magazine is?
Yeah, I mean, Table Talk Magazine is a monthly subscription. So you can actually have something delivered to your door, or you can get it online or digitally.
Yeah.
And it's this periodical. It's got different articles. It's got different devotions.
Daily devotions.
And it's just this fantastic resource.
Looks beautiful, too. It's really well done.
Really, really well done. And so I know Joe has written for it. There's been a lot of other great authors, but you can get 15 months of Table Talk Magazine for $23 just by going to doctrinedevotion.com/Table Talk. So that's 15 issues delivered monthly to your door, digital access to the current and past issues dating back to 2012, and an effective plan for reading through the Bible in 1 year.
So much awesome in that. That's really good.
doctrinedevotion.com/Table Talk. Now, I know you've been reading this for decades.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
20 years. Wow, goodness.
That's 2 decades.
2 decades. Yeah. Goodness, yeah.
Something like that. Okay, so you were saying that that people in our churches, especially in our Protestant, Orthodox, Reformed, Evangelical churches, they really do want to grow, and they're hungry for it. What are they saying in this survey that was done? What were they coming up with?
Well, 27% want their church to help them understand more about God and the Bible.
Oh, that's theology.
That's theology right there. People want to know more, right? And I think I wonder if part of it is, as pastors, and I know it sounds the wrong way of saying it, but because we're in the study of it so much, we kind of get not bored, but we have information overload quite often.
Sure.
And so I think we project that other people aren't going to care about this.
Right.
And
we also, I think I found myself doing this where I will have read something a million times and I will think, our people already know this. I don't need to cover this.
Yeah.
Which is wrong, because even if they do know it, even if I know it, it needs to be covered again.
Correct.
So there's a lot of reasons why we might not hit doctrine, even inside healthy churches. I think a lot of people feel like, my people don't want to understand God in the Bible as much as they want to know. And I hear this from pastors a lot, right? Listen, my people don't care about divine impassibility or divine simplicity. What they care about is, how can I make my marriage better?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, well, the two are not mutually exclusive.
Correct.
And believe it or not, the church's primary responsibility is to help you understand God and understand yourself. And in doing so, you are better prepared to address the issues of your marriage, because the scripture actually does speak to those issues as they are connected to God.
That's right. So the top suggestion, help them understand more about God and the Bible. Number 2, 20% want their church to help them find new ways to serve.
Oh.
That's
okay. So 20%. Now listen, that 20, they're going to do all the work. So you got to get those 20.
You better get those 20%.
Because the other 80, they're not doing anything.
So, but I like that though. 20% want their church to help them find new ways to serve. And so I think there's this willingness. They're underutilized. I think that's really good. And I wonder if the new ways to serve, and maybe that's different from there's the normal ways we think of. We think of ushering or coffee or
Sunday school.
But are there other opportunities for them to serve, whether on a Sunday or throughout the week? And I think that's what people are looking for. They're looking, they care, and they're invested. They love the church.
Yeah.
They love the people, and they want to serve their God there. And so I think that's really encouraging when I read something like that. 19% want their church to provide more Bible study groups.
Yep.
So people want to get in the Word. So they not only do they want to get in the Word because they want you to help them with number one, to understand more about God and the Bible, but number three here, they want to be in community learning with their peers.
Right. Now you might read that and go, 19%? So if I got 100 people, only 19 are going to care? Well, first of all, this doesn't say that only 19 are going to care. But 19% are saying, hey, we would like you to provide more Bible study groups. And think about this. If you don't have small groups where you're actually getting into the Word and praying together and investing in each other's lives, and you want to start that, you can start with 20 people.
Yeah.
That's significant.
That's really good.
That's you got basically like right around 4 groups you could start with, essentially, like 3 or 4 groups. So that's significant to launch. That's a core team that you can get together and say, hey, listen, we're gonna get into community together. We're gonna study the Word together. We're gonna love each other, and we are going to be the people that God uses to establish a new normal in the rhythm of our church life. That's exciting. You could be pumped about that.
16% want their church to help them get to know more people in the church. They want to be in community.
It's harder the bigger the church.
Yeah, exactly.
But you need systems and processes regardless of the size. It's just too
especially
easy.
when you have multi-services, stuff like that. People don't know. 14% say their church could provide forums to answer their spiritual questions. I think that's really good.
It's a really good idea. That can happen, post service on a Sunday. It can be a Sunday night. It could be online. Like there's a lot of opportunities here. But man, if 14% of the people are saying, "Hey, I've got questions and I'd like to have some follow up," and that's something that we should be doing better.
Yeah,
like we should be providing some forums where people can. We have this happening informally in a lot of ways, and we think it happens in our small groups because we discuss the sermons typically. But we could do better here.
13% want their church to give them more chances to serve.
Okay, so
I think we kind of
new chances,
more chances. 13% want their church to provide worship experiences that fit their needs.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. Yeah, like more artistic.
Maybe cup holders.
Yeah, something like that.
What are they talking about?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. 13% want their church to provide worship experiences that fit their. So it must fit their felt needs in work. So I don't know, man. I feel like you're supposed to give what you're supposed to give, and that addresses the real needs. I'm not sure what that means.
9% want their church to provide more interaction with the pastor.
How do they talk about fitting their needs with that doesn't make any sense.
You're still really up on that, huh?
They would provide worship experiences that fit their needs. Okay, so what are my needs? What would the need be?
The Word.
Okay, but you're supposed to give that. No,
worship.
They got to be talking about that.
You think you're talking about like specials?
It's got to be something. It's got to be something that we're not doing. Like not us, but like that they're not. What are they? Their needs. What am I like?
I don't know. Maybe that's. Well, remember, hey, there were some Pentecostals that were part of this survey.
So there we go. Okay, got it. Thank you, Jimmy. That everything is coming to focus.
That looks like an Assemblies of God.
Okay,
question.
You AOGs out there, I know what you. Okay, I got it now. All right, well, good.
Want the church to provide more interaction with the pastor.
Okay, good.
And then here, 8% wants their church to provide them with a mentor. So there's growth. There's growth that people want. Even as we joke about like the worship experience, there's still growth here that people are desiring, longing for something more.
Now, if you add up all of these percentages, it adds up to 387%. Jimmy, I know you did it the first time. So, I did that in my head real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah.
No, it's not.
So, 27, 20, 19, 16, 14, 13, 13, 19, I think it's like 357 or something like that. So anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't have to check it. It's fine. It's right. So one of the things that McConnell says here is even though most churchgoers are staying...
139.
Even though most churchgoers are staying put and are relatively happy, there's some reason for concern. At any given church, about 15% of the congregation is thinking about leaving. And if they go, the church could suffer. The average church in the United States has less than 100 attenders, McConnell said. Losing 10 or 15 people could make a huge impact. Now, we know that that's true because, we plant small churches that slowly grow. So we've got, 270 whatever now. But, you lose 10 or 15 people, we could feel that. But when we were at 70...
Oh, you really felt it.
You really, really feel that.
But that's at any given church, about 15% of the congregation is thinking about leaving.
Yeah. It's crossing their minds for various, issues, maybe good, maybe bad. Now, although let's keep in mind, the average church in the U.S. has less than 100 attenders, but the average Christian is in a large church. Most Christians are not in those average-sized churches.
Yeah.
The vast majority of Christians are in larger churches. A much fewer number of believers are in all of those other congregations. So there's still a great imbalance. Now, I would rather see those smaller congregations healthier and more attended.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to be huge, but I think I prefer smaller congregations for pastoral care and community than I do the larger congregations. Now, Bob Santana, he is a senior writer for Facts and Trends at Lifeway Research. And this article, I think, is good. It's helpful because, everybody is concerned about the health of their local church. They want people to be unified, and we want people to be not just unified ideologically, but all in with their lives, not just with their thoughts, with their hearts. And, we really want to have a sense that we're in this for the long haul because, this is not a gym that we're here until a better one opens up.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be family.
That's
and
right.
This is supposed to be, the mission that God has given his people, and we're a part of that. And so we're fully invested. And so if that's the case, then we should be concerned about, well, how are people coming in? What are their thoughts about staying or leaving? And what should we be doing to encourage a healthy approach to?
I like that.
It's like stickiness, right? Like to buy in.
Yeah, sticky groups. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that doesn't sound right.
No, that's a book. That's a book. Sticky groups.
So I think
Sticky church. Is it?
We want sticky notes.
No. There's a book. Sticky
Sticky
groups.
vision. Sticky buns.
I think they do sticky everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that what we hear. So what we would say in our church is what we're going to emphasize, based on the scripture itself, is we're going to emphasize a confessional identity or good theology, clear biblical theology. We want to emphasize an experience, a biblical experience or experiential theology. But that those things are supposed to be forming true community with each other.
I like that, yes.
And that community then is one that serves and disciples and is helping. So all of this is really good. And so the takeaway from this is, at least in part, the big takeaway, at least from the article, is, hey, people are sticking around for theology. And when you monkey with that, they're much more likely to leave than stay. So of all the things we're concerned about, and we should be concerned about a lot of these things, a lot of these issues, how we can do better at making disciples and promoting, a robust community of faith that really knows and serves one another. Theology is at the top.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You could follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Doc and Devo, or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion. Actually, you can also let us know, what are you reading this week?
Yeah.
We'd love to you know what I'm going to read? Are you going to read the same thing, Joe? Are we reading it together? You already read it? Oh, I didn't read it yet. Did you read it already?
No, but I just started going through it. Crossway gave us these, the Preacher's Catechism.
Yep, by Lewis Allen. Forward by Sinclair Ferguson. So we're going to read this week.
This thing is amazing. And so it's a series of, questions and answers. It's a catechism that's been put together, and then expounded upon. But really this is for those in ministry. So you go right to the beginning. Chapter 1, preaching above all. Question, what is God's chief end in preaching? Answer, God's chief end in preaching is to glorify his name. And then you have scripture, and then you have an exposition of this very idea. Or chapter 2, Jimmy, how do we enjoy God? We enjoy God as we submit our hearts to all that he tells us. And then again, we have scripture and an exposition.
You know what's nice? These are nice. Oh man, these are nice short chapters.
Yeah, short chapters, but it's a good sized book, hardcover. Lewis Allen, The Preacher's Catechism. We'll link to that in the show notes. Check it out. And
it almost could be like a devotional.
Oh no, it absolutely is. Yeah, it's very much a
So I'm going to feel
so.
bad reading it through in a week.
Why?
Because it's not a.
You can't read every book as a devotional for a devotional. Some books you can't. So either make this your devotional for the next however long it's going to be, however many chapters there are, or read it and then you can go back to it later. But I'm doing my own devotional thing right now, so I can't be using this as my devotional.
All right.
It'll still be devotional. It just won't be a long,
just a
1 week devotional.
Yeah, just a 1 week devotional.
But how many chapters are there in this thing?
30 something?
No, there's 43.
43?
Yeah, 43. Yeah, so 43 weeks, that's like almost a year. It's 52 weeks in a year, right? So 43 is almost a year. If you did one chapter a week, that's too long. I like to go quicker than that.
I was about to call you out for your math being wrong.
But you realized that you were the dummy. Yeah.
I realized I was wrong.
Yeah. Got a brain in this zit.
So let us know. Let us know what you're reading. You can head on to the website, drrocha.com. There you can contact us. You can sign up for the email blast or hit up the store, jofostore.com, and grab some gear.
You know what they should do, though?
What's that?
Before they do anything else.
Yep, Table Talk Magazine.
DoctrineandDevotion.com/Table Talk. Sign up for that. It's
Can we talk
really
about D&D 19 yet? For all these suckers that left? No, wait. We need to do it soon.
Okay, well, we can tell them the date. We got the date.
Do we have the date set?
Yeah, they said both
Right, both
venues are open.
What's the date?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh,
what's wrong with you? I know that's May 3rd and 4th or something.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't know what it is.
All right, hold on.
You're going to bring it up. So listen, we've got speaker. You're going to love it. We've got topic. You're going to love it. And we've got venue.
Yes. And we got something else lined up we have to finalize.
What's that?
If breakouts.
Oh, yeah.
Breakouts. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've already done the breakout, but
on my face.
On your face, we're looking for other breakouts. Yes, May 3rd and 4th. So mark your calendars. May 3rd and 4th will be the next Doctrine of Ocean Conference. So
it's gonna be awesome, dude.
Was it Hockett and Pocket? Hashtag DocDevo19.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited. Can't wait. We're going to share more. We'll get the page up.
Yes.
We'll get it all rolling soon.
Yes. Well, we have to wait, though. Brian has he's got a plan for revealing.
Oh.
So actually, I might get in trouble for even saying what I said now.
Oh, well.
Yeah. No, but we have to do it the way he wants.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
He has to do it the way we want.
No.
That's how it works.
No, he's got a great idea.
I'm sure it's great.
Fresh pod every Monday and Thursday, blog post on
I'll
Wednesdays.
I'll let him do it.
Video content when available. This is my podcast. Later.